Good morning, all you stackers out there. Hope everybody's doing well on this fine Saturday morning. Hope you're feeling rejuvenated from ending your long work week and kicking it back and enjoying some silver talk. So, I kind of wanted. I've talked about my little hiatus I've taken because full season lacrosse is going on, and I help coach that. So. That takes up 6 days a week in addition to work, and then pick up the new puppy. So enough excuses, right? But here we are. I wanted to try to get a few live streams out there, a few videos out there, and have some fun. Today's topic's really just trying to kind of recap what I have been picking up during the recent kind of like lagging of the silver and gold markets around that sort of $70 to $80 range, where we've kind of been trending in and out of that. Like every now and then we pop in, pop out, but that's kind of the channel that we've been in. It's been kind of nice. I've talked about it for a while, and I continue to say that. Like, I think that finding these new baselines, right, of stability in the gold and silver and precious metals markets is nice. It looks like some of the volatility is leaving. It looks like a lot of the over trading is leaving a little bit. So those are nice things for me personally to see. Anyway, salutations here. Action breeds success coming in here hot and heavy in the beginning to say hello. And also Mr. Kevin Hawthorne. Thank you for being here, sir. Appreciate you. So, all right. And yeah, I've definitely been taking advantage of the stagnation and just picking up kind of like monthly allotments of gold and silver, trying to kind of edge my way to that 5%. I've said that I want to make about a 5% asset value for my total asset, and I've been working my way towards it. I have also decided, just continued lack of faith, I guess you could say, in the US dollar and the economic decision making of the US government and the Federal Reserve and the central banks, that I decided, whether it's good or bad, I don't know, but to bump that 5% ratio up to 10%, but I want to do it over the next 3 or so years. The idea is I don't want to just throw all in, today. I'd rather sort of intentionally pick some up monthly or every couple of months over time and let things sort of balance out. Probably because I have a little bit more of a view, and we're going to talk about the charts and stuff and go through some of that later, but just kind of had this view that like we should be coming back to norms, right? We should be pulling back to the averages. We shouldn't be seeing 100% growth year over year. Like, it's just, to me, it's not sustainable. It's not what I believe that the future holds for us. I'd rather get back down sort of to that like 5% growth annually. So I think that we're going to kind of retract back still. And that's why I'm just kind of picking up slowly. I'm not going to stop picking up because it's still part of my goals. What's up, Walter? Good to see you. Thanks for popping in here. Everything is fantastic, sir. Thank you. So yeah. So what have we been picking up? Well, I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting to pick up more of my half dollars as I go. Walter was so generous and kind, by the way. Let me get it out here. I've already got it in my community swag folder here. But Walter, I've got your we got the community swag here. Walter was kind enough to send me a $50 to add towards our collection right here. So these are all pieces that I've received as donations over time. So thank you very much, Walter. It is in the book of fame of community swag here, to ever hold its place in that position there. So thank you so much. But I'm on hold right now for buying those in bulk. I was buying, $10 to $20, I don't know, every couple of weeks for a while there. And then kind of when silver got into that 65 to 70 range, I really kind of pumped the brakes on picking up 90% and just switched over to generics and back to generic rounds primarily. And then I started picking up in like the 100 pluses. I started picking up fractional half ounce pieces of silver, which I really like too. So anyway, I picked up some American Silver Eagles. I don't know what. Oh, I also picked up. I've completed my entire Queen's Beast, the Queen Beast album plus the collector coin. That is 100%, 100% complete now. So we're finishing up the display case, and that'll be really cool. Oh, what's up, Penny Scout? Oh, I didn't know Pang was live. Yeah, I don't really check to see who all is live before I go live. I have such limited windows when I can even either do content or do a live stream that I just go when I can. So I'm not trying to step on toes, but I just do my thing. All right, so went back to the Silver Eagles just because obviously we all know that they're that highly liquid retained value type thing. So I figured I would just bulk up on those, try to get to like, I don't know, 100, 200 ounces of these over time. That way they're always kind of like the ammo, man. They're like the reserve ammo to go along with what Pang does here. We've got our magazines in our stack waiting to be deployed if I need to, if I wanted to like trade the GSR or something, or whatever I needed to sell for something. I don't really anticipate selling, but whatever. We've got them if we need them. And then I've been picking up some gold. I really love fractional gold. And when I think gold got to like 4,500 or 4,600, and that was nice. That was a nice pullback from 5,500. So I had picked up, I don't even know. It's been so long since I've done like a real like purchase inventory in, whatever stuff that I've brought in. But I got a $5 Indian head coin, which I really like this. I like this design, and wow, that's not like that picture there. I really like this Incuse design. I just think the coin looks awesome. I like how it is. It's a good size, for a little like token / coin. The Dosi Media pesos, I think, are also another great fractional piece of gold. And the Dos peso is cool, but to be quite frank, it's like a fingernail size, if you can't tell, right? It's a little too small. I think the Dos peso is a little too small, so I only pick these up when they are like within, I would say, under like I want to say 10%, but realistically it's like under 8% of a spot premium. Sometimes I get these for around spot, plus like some shipping. So it's like two of them might be like, I don't even know, $480 plus shipping, something like that. Capcom, what's up? TFT, what's going on? Good morning. We're just kind of going over some of the things that I've been purchasing over this little hiatus, and when the prices stagnated, right, I feel like it was a good time to accrue. I know if you're in the Discord, TFT, you're in the Discord, right? Those of you in the Discord know we talk all the time. We talk almost daily about pickups and things like that. So I know you're aware of what I've been getting and what everybody else has been getting. But yeah, anyway, I do think the Dosi Media size is a pretty good size for a fractional coin. If you're looking for something fractional, I don't know how many it takes to these to make an ounce. I don't know. I know the Dos peso. I feel like it's 21 of them makes a full ounce, which means that they are 20th, right, of an ounce. And I think obviously the Dosi Media is 0.5 less than that per coin. So there you go. But yeah, the $5 and the $2.50 Indian head. I got some $2.50 in here. So let me find some. Is that a 2.5? Yeah, there's a 2.5. I really like this size. They're stackable. They're not going to break the bank too much. The Dosi Media is really, really affordable, and it's a decent size. Like it's got enough size that you can hear it clank. You can hold it in your hand. It doesn't feel like it's going to fall out of your fingers. Whereas like the Dos peso is like, it's honestly kind of hard to hold and look at. But yeah. Also, I decided to start a currency album. And the main reason I decided to get this little thing here is because somebody, Fish, if you know, you know, I was on his, I did a couple live streams with him, and he was kind enough to send me a swag pack that also included a gold back, right? And so what I did, dos y medio peso. uh, and so what I did was as a thanks to him and appreciation here. I got too much light going, but I went ahead and put the gold back with his sticker in here to signify that he donated it to me. And that's the only gold back I have. I mean, I'm not really planning to buy them unless I can get them for like dirt cheap, or like a bundle of them, like a different, set that's very reasonably priced, which I don't think will ever happen. So, I got my gold back, but I also bought some silverbacks, some silver certificates. So I purchased some silver certificates. Oh wait, I missed that folder apparently. Gotta go back and do that. But so we've got all these different series. So this is like a 1957, and then we've got like a 1957A, and another 1957A, and then a 1957B. So we got kind of like that series going right there. And then so there's another 1957B, and then I picked up this 1935E. This was a recent pickup. And then I went ahead and I got some minty $2 bills. I mean, these things are absolutely uncirculated, minty condition. So there you go. I picked up a couple of these $2 bills. This is a series 2017A for anybody who cares. That's a 2017A. And then I got this red stamp. Again, these are just like, you can kind of tell by the image. I got too much light on here for really to get a good example with all the refraction. But hey, what's up, ASE guy? What's going on? What's going on? Anyway, so I got this red label here. This is a 1963A in like absolutely perfect mint condition. Now, I'm not saying that these are rare or special or anything like that. I just thought that they were cool. And my plan now is that whenever I go to a coin show, I am looking for gold certificates. They are a little bit more expensive, so I have to learn that market more before I pull the trigger. I have seen price ranges going crazy. I don't quite know how to, how do you say, like, I don't know how to validate them that they are authentic, and I don't know how to consider the quality levels, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know, like why one version would be worth more than another, other than like if it's super minty or if it's all folded and wrinkled and crap like that, right? So I don't know how to do it. Amina, what's going on? Welcome. TFT, Ace, Catcom, Walter, all you guys. Appreciate you guys holding the conversation there. But yeah, I was excited to get these minty $2 bills. I mean, these look like completely uncirculated, hot off the press, kind of $2. I think this one's got like a little bit of a fold up there. Maybe? I can't tell. But it should be pretty solid. You guys see my face right up in there. And then there's this one here. I like these. I think they were looking real nice. There we go. And then I guess I can show. I always forget that like bills, they all have such beautiful backs. Like I got to show the backs too more often. Yeah. So there we go. Looking good. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool design right there, I think. And then right here, Declaration of Independence signing. Look at that. How cool is that? Man, make bills great again, not the Illuminati symbols, like bring back the history and stuff. So yeah, so that's kind of, and then also I don't have it with me because we're in the process of finishing it up. But like I said earlier, I have completed the Queen's Beast set entirely. And I don't know, I'm excited. Hi from Ireland, Moon Stackers. Thanks for being here from Ireland. Appreciate you stopping. It must be really early, like really late in the day for you guys. Evening, mid-evening. Thanks for stopping in. So that's what we're doing now. Let's take a little switch over here. Let's switch the screens and let's go check out kind of what has been going on with these markets. I have not had how many Disney dollars and Chuck E. Cheese coins are you stacking? I've got 0 right now, but maybe I need to pick some up. Let's go check out what's going on with the market. So we closed last week here at $4,829.40 for gold, $80.70 for silver. I know we had some spikes up to like $83. So I keep saying the volatility's out, but like let's be honest, like that's only like 3-4% now. It's not a big deal. It's different when it goes up like 10-15% a day, back up and down. So there we go. $2.30 in the day. Lovely Eagles. Thank you. Appreciate it, Moon Stackers. Thanks. Yeah, I got one of these has some milk spotting, but some of these I got like were like absolutely like perfect condition. So I went ahead and encapsulated all of them just so I didn't, I didn't want to have like a good one that's out. I also have 3 that I'm intentionally oxidizing. So I've got these 3. I got the wrong camera. Hold on. Switcheroo. Switcheroo. There we go. I have these 3 that I am intentionally oxidizing. So how I'm doing it is, I don't know if this is accurate or not, but I'm just leaving them out to oxidize, but I'm also sometimes storing them in a cigar box because I read somewhere that like the sulfurs and things from the cigars, I guess like enhance or accelerate the oxidation process of metals. I don't know if any of this is true. I've never done it. So anyway, I bought these like a few months ago and I've been just legit just leaving them out or leaving them in a cigar box, just leaving them on the desk and just letting them do their thing. I'm just curious to see what happens to these 3 over time. It'll be interesting. And I actually have them sitting on a copper box or a copper bar on my desk too. So I don't know. We're just playing around with this, figure it out as we go. We don't know what I'm doing with that. Anyway, platinum at $2,100 as well. So silver's had a pretty good week there. Let's go and check out our gold for the month, right? This is what I was talking about with the stagnation. We kind of hit that period. This is like a more natural incline here. I like seeing a more calm and collected growth trend line. I don't like seeing these straight ups and straight downs. So I'm comfortable in these ranges. Falls, it goes up, it goes down. I don't really care at that point. So, and we go back to 6 months to the January debacle, right? So we've had these levels. So yeah, maybe we step down again. Who knows? But it feels like there's calmness coming back to the markets. A little bit less volume in trading. It just feels, I don't know. Maybe I'm giving myself copium here, trying to believe something that doesn't exist. But I feel more comfortable buying right now because it feels like things are stabilized some. But who knows? I've heard putting onions in a container with silver coins will tone them from the sulfur. Oh, maybe. I haven't heard that about cigars, but when reaching for a stick, it'll be nice to see some silver. Exactly, TFT. It's like, hey, might as well grab some of that, right? Look at all that shining silver in there when I'm grabbing my little stick, baby. It's good stuff. But yeah, I don't know. That's the story I've been telling myself. Again, I'm not trying to tell anybody what they should and shouldn't be buying, but I feel like I genuinely feel like the long-term time horizon of gold and silver is very positive. I think we all got a little shell shocked when we had the doubling, in less than 3 or 4 months. I think that threw us all for a loop from that like October to January period where just everything went nuts. And I think that was coupled with a lot of big banks and institutions and hedge funds and central banks and world banks all throwing their money into these markets, trying to dig out some profits. And here we are. I think things are kind of back to normal. I hope. I mean, that's my thesis right now, is that we've kind of stabilized and we can go on this continued growth where we are sort of these precious metals act as sort of like hedges against inflation. And that's why I don't invest in them for like massive gains. I'm not looking to double my money every every year or two. Like I'm looking for just stabilized 5 to 10% gains annually. It's a slow, smooth process where I can like at least not expect them to fall a lot. That's all. Let me know what you guys are thinking about. What's your reason? What's your why for why you accrue precious metals? I made a real boring video yesterday or 2 days ago. I don't know, yesterday, 2 days ago. I made a real boring video. And I just wanted to kind of lay out there like a basic plan for somebody if they were trying to, build a lot of wealth over a long period of time. So this is one thing I was talking about quite often is if I'm looking at the silver charts, right? And we're looking at these periods. If you like, let's just take from here to here, right? From here to here. We had that, it was at that $20 to $30 range was for a good solid while, right? Or $25, $18 to $25. I don't know. We can expand it as far as we want, but like it was really kind of like a $20 to $30 range. We had it for years and years and years. And then like it just kind of broke, right? It just broke out. And I guess the question we all have is like, is it going to continue to just break out? Like, was this suppression, and now we're going to see like the more natural growth? Was this realistic, and we should go back to being more flatlined over the next 5-10 years? I don't know, but I'm pretty confident that we are going to see a world in which, related to the US dollar, which is how we price these things, we're going to continue to see an upward trend. Kind of like, I mean, let's be quite frank, that's kind of what stock market is too, right? It's a compilation of all these businesses and their assets and their revenues and all this good stuff and their growth potential and blah, blah, blah. And they tend to just kind of keep going up, but it's not necessarily that all these companies are doing much better, that they're all more, generating more revenue. It's just kind of simply that the US dollar is being debased and there's inflation, and naturally numbers kind of go up over time until we have like a hard reset, which I don't know, my opinion, I hope we never have a actual hard reset. Stacking to preserve wealth. Awesome. Oil went down. Investors back to silver and gold. I hope not, Catcom. I hope it's not that. Hey, West Texas Stacker, what's up? Boiled eggs. I'm not sure if that's relating to oxidizing silver or not, or what, or toning silver. But welcome and enjoy your boiled eggs. Maybe you're having breakfast. I don't know. Oil went down, investors back to silver and gold. See, that's what I want. I don't know how you feel about it, Catcom, but personally, I want that sort of trading in these markets to go away. In my idealistic world, I feel like the only people buying silver and gold contracts are people that genuinely want silver and gold. I know that's not the reality we live in, so it doesn't matter, but like in my mind, that's kind of what I want, right? I don't want a world where speculators and people who could possibly have ill intent or simply profit-driven trading can influence the mass populace's net worth at the drop of a hat. And that's the way things have been trending on all of our markets, that all of our financial markets that we put all of our future money into. And it just makes you kind of, I don't know, just makes you kind of at the whim of people that have a lot more power and money, right? And I don't like it. You were talking about toning. Harder to spend them, and I decided I liked my treasure, so I kept adding to my collection. Exactly, Amina. I'm the same way. I don't really. I've kind of broken through that mold of spending. I have spurts here or there where I spend a little bit more on crap that I don't need, that I don't want to. But overall, I'm pretty solid on. I have a pretty solid saving and investing plan that happens as soon as I get paid. My money gets split in like 100 different ways to all these different accounts, and therefore anything I have left over, I just spend it on whatever I want. And there's some periods of time where I spend more than I probably should be, and I should just go ahead and save and invest that stuff. But that's where my gold and my silver allowance comes in. Basically, is the money left over from taking care of all those other obligations. So then I throw it into gold and silver, kind of like what you're talking about, Amina. Like, I do it because if I go ahead and if I air quote, if I buy, right, if I buy gold and silver, it's almost like I'm getting that satisfaction of spending and buying and shopping, but I'm spending my money on something that's an asset that's going to retain its value. So it's like I don't know if that makes any sense to anybody out there, but to me, it's like my justification be like, I can go shop, I can go spend, I can scratch that itch, but I'm not actually spending my money. I'm actually converting my cash into a hard, tangible tier 1 asset. You know what I mean? It's a little bit nicer of a feeling, right? Good morning, Logan B. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Yeah. Let's see. In 2011, silver broke out to 49. By 2015, it was down to 14. Yeah, West Texas. That's why you just got to be cognizant of that. We can't talk as if things only go up. But I just do feel like with the way that inflation has ramped up and the kind of the parabolic rise of our debt, right? We're almost approaching $40 trillion in debt, where the interest on that debt is like gonna be more than I think the amount of income taxes that we take. You get what I mean? You get what I'm saying? But I feel like we might have broken, the system may have broke a little bit. The financial world that we live in may have broke a little bit. And that's why I'm shifting. I'm not going crazy, but I am shifting from a goal of 5% in precious metals to a goal of 10% in precious metals, right? So that's all we're doing. Nothing crazy. All right, since we got a little bit of GSR chat going on here, let's go ahead and take a look at this GSR chat. This is the last year. You guys remember when the GSR was up here over 100, and I think there was a couple larger channels. I think like Silver Dragons. I think he did a trade for 100. Oh, sorry, it was one gold coin, 1 ounce gold coin for 100 ounces of silver coins, I believe. And then, he, in that video, if you watched it, I watched it, he said something like, well, we'll see if this turns out to be a good decision or not, won't we, Harry? Right? Kind of situation. And, if he got out of that, at 46.43 GSR that happened on January 29th, 2026, if he were to have done that, he could have taken that amount of silver, right? And obviously gotten back 2 gold ounces plus a little silver left over. And that's an interesting trade. I think the GSR, I don't know if it's worth constantly trading or not, but I do follow a pretty good thesis for me. If we're like this, let's see, let's zoom in a little bit here. My basic strategy with this is, I don't know, who knows if I'm right or wrong, but oh wait, I already have it kind of up here. Is this the right zoom though? I don't know. Not. Let me clear all that off. That's some old stuff. Erase it all. Shh. Go this way. All right. So I'm more like this. Let me draw some lines here. Put a yellow line. Gold. Yellow for gold, right? When we are probably down here, right? 75. That's supposed to be 75. We're at 75 or lower. I'm kind of I'm buying mostly gold. And if we are, green is going to be for silver. If we are around like 85 or higher, I'm buying mostly silver. So above this, right, is kind of my silver zone where I'm buying just exclusively silver. And then below this is where I'm in my gold zone where I'm buying mostly gold. Mostly gold, or trading for gold, or selling some silver for gold, something like that. And then when we're in the middle, right, when we're in the middle here, it doesn't really matter. It's whatever's the best deal. And I kind of honestly, as much as like in my mind I want this to be the reality that I do with the GSR, what tends to end up happening is I go where the best deals are, because that's kind of an indicator of where the suppressed market is anyway, if that makes sense. So like when you see all the online bullion dealers and everybody saying stuff like, oh, spot deals or under spot deals on, XYZ, whether it's silver or gold, what that indicates to you or to me is that those items are not in very high demand. Therefore, you're probably going to get a good deal on them. And so you get the good deal and then you can just wait. So my goal is to buy at spot primarily. But if we're up here in the, $85, $90, $100 range, what I firmly believe is that we will eventually kind of fall back into this sort of $70 average or medium. Therefore, I feel like silver's probably a little bit overpriced, or gold's a little bit underpriced, or some variation of that, right? And most likely, I think that silver's going to come back down to come back to that median. And because of that, I'm going to buy it up, or reverse. I'm saying the wrong thing. Excuse me. You guys are wrong. I'm losing my train of thought. It's too dark. I need my coffee still. Anyway, you kind of go back and forth, right? Going back and forth. And so if I can get 100 ounces for silver, right, then, it's no problem accruing a bunch of silver, and then we can convert it back to gold or buy gold in the reverse. I think I've lost my complete train of thought. Let me get caught up with what you guys are saying, because you guys are probably saying something more intelligibly than I am right now. I'm tired. Spending money on money. Yeah, damn right, baby. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I had several people wanting to play the GSR at the LCS. They weren't happy when the owner didn't want to trade the exact GSR. Well, so I don't think when we talk about trade the GSR, it really should be implied, guys, that there's going to be a margin on both sides of the trade. right? They're going to give you less for your silver than spot, and they're going to charge you more than spot for gold. That's just the way it's going to be. It's never going to be a direct, exact, oh, the GSR is 59.73. Okay. If you give me 59.73 ounces of silver, I'm going to give you 1 ounce of gold. That is never, ever, ever going to be the case unless you own your own freaking LCS and you have millions of dollars and you know the distributors, right? Like, so always assume, just always assume there's premiums on both sides of the transaction. So but it is still, it's an indicator though, guys, right? Like, you're still, when it's 59.73, it's not going to take 100 ounces of silver to get 1 ounce of gold, right? It might take 65 ounces, or maybe it takes, I don't know, that's probably a little bit too extreme. Maybe it takes 62 ounces of silver to get 1 ounce of gold, but it's still better than 100, right? Does that make sense? And it just goes in the reverse way as well. That's where a lot of people get confused on the GSR. It may be 58 to 1, but that doesn't mean you're going to get 1 ounce of gold. Exactly, West Texas. Like, I think sometimes we all kind of just assume people know that, right? Like, businesses aren't running for free, right? They're running for a profit, and as much as they're excited for you to be able to, trade your silver for gold, like they're not going to they're not going to take a hit just so you can feel great, All right. Yeah. Good call out on that. Has to be beneficial to the trade medium. Yeah, it's kind of basic stuff. It's not that big of a it's not like a conspiracy theory, or it's not like you're getting bamboozled by the LCS. That is just the way things are. These are just graphs, right? These are just spot prices and markets being divided by each other. It's not like the end of the world, and every single business is different. You could go from one LCS to the next, and that GSR trade might be a little bit more or less than the previous one. There's no like hard and fast rule that says you must do this every single time spot is this or the GSR is this, right? Tip them 1 ounce. Yeah, cacao, it's not a bad idea. These days 1 ounce is a pretty hefty tip, but when we're talking about an ounce of gold, right? It's a low amount in terms of that. Been in the Permian Basin for 12 years now. All right. Just so I can stop wondering. Oh, okay. You were asking where he's from. Exactly. So, the other thing I wanted to kind of finish and follow up with here, I haven't really talked about in a while, is I enjoy looking at this. And if you're not familiar with this chart this is the actual COMEX CME Group's volume of the silver futures contracts. These are the 5,000 ounce contracts. And I like to keep track of the volume going on here and where the different contracts are at. So, I think some other people have talked about the fact that, there's been a deficit of the quantity of silver available based on the demand of silver for the last 5 years. And I would imagine that's going to continue to happen for the foreseeable future, unless industry completely changes. And, I have a feeling that the war ministries are going to need to restock. Just a little hunch, you could say there, that we're probably going to need to make quite a bit more missiles and ammunition, I think, soon. But if you remember, when we were looking at this, March had over 100,000 contracts, which is what's here on the right. You can see it kind of on the right side here. Let me zoom in. For a while there, March had over 100,000 contracts, and they got, as February kind of got to mid-February, we started to see the dilution of those contracts being rolled into future months or closed for cash, etc. So not many are actually ending at close where they are taking delivery and such. So I expect this trend to continue. And now here's the interesting thing is, if we take that 110,000 contracts, it's still 47,000 going on in May, and 52,000 going on in July, and 9,000 going on in September. So it's still kind of being rolled. And you lose that. Keep rolling. What? Keep rolling. You know what I'm talking about? Probably gonna get copyright strike there. We still see it just kind of the buck getting passed, but it's slowly deteriorating, right? Again, people are slowly, they're taking cash settlements, they're making their profits, they're taking their contracts off the table. But there's still a massive amount of just rolling forward. So I don't know. Again, I don't know if this is a positive designation for the future, that these people are saying, hey, you know what? I still think that there's room for these prices to go up. Therefore, I'm going to maintain my contracts and just keep pushing them forward until I get the profit margins that I want, and then I'm going to sell them. But hey, there we go. Lots of contracts out there still. And again, I don't think this indicates anything is going to, I don't think that the Comex is going to crash. I don't think that they're going to fail delivery. I don't think there's going to be any force de jour or anything, anything crazy happening. It's just that's the way they do business. They work with their customers, and they're going to keep pushing and punting and asking things to go down until they have enough silver to deliver or something, and they probably want to have a minimum amount in their, possession at all times. So I would imagine that these numbers just continue to kind of deteriorate over the entire year. And I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised at this point if we go into March 2027 and we go back up to like 80 or 90,000 again, at the way things have been going. It's just been every year over year for the last 3 years has been increasing pretty significantly, the number of contracts being traded. So it doesn't bode well for us as the retailers, because that just means that prices, unless you're, obviously if you're a fat stack and you're just holding, maybe it does. But if you're continuing to want to accrue and stuff, I still personally want all these massive traders and stuff out of the markets, not traders, like with a T, traders with a DERS, right? I want these guys kind of like to leave the market and to go back and focus on Bitcoin and XRP and Dogecoin and whatever else. I would like the markets for gold and silver to kind of calm back down and settle, so that I can continue to kind of build my wealth in them and have fun with it. So yeah, that's really all I had, guys, for this Saturday morning. I just wanted to come in and again do a little recap on what I've been buying, what I've been seeing, if you cared, and just kind of also to hear what you guys have been up to and can't touch back base with all of you guys that kind of take the time out of your day to come out and watch and chat with us. So I appreciate you guys very much. Yeah, again, picking up some currency, different types of currency. I'm going to be looking for gold notes next. And did I even say my goal was basically go to an LCS, not an LCS, but a coin show. And the next time every time I go to a coin show now, I want to come home with some sort of new unique bill, either, like a $5, $10, $20, $100, whatever, gold note, silver note. I want to try to find new, cool, unique bills. I put a whole bunch of extra pages in this thing to fill it out. And yeah, I think this would be a fun way to kind of get into the bill and currency side of things. I've also started to kind of take an interest in historical documents and stuff. So I want to try to find some old historical notes and letters and documents that might be signed by, dead presidents and things like that. And, build sort of like a study area where I can have my coin albums and my currency albums and my historical documents and stuff like that. And anyway, it's been fun. Appreciate you guys, and just keep picking up gold. Gold is still my primary focus right now. I'm mostly focused on gold in terms of dollar amount, right? It's easier to pick up more ounces of silver, but definitely picking up dollar amount, higher quantity of gold. And if GSR shifts back to that 90 plus range or 80 plus range, I'll probably shift back to acquiring tons of silver. Appreciate you guys. Love you. God bless you. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. I will probably see you guys next week. I'm trying to go back into a little bit more of a rhythm and routine. So thank you for watching, and have a fantastic evening.